What if I told you that one of Hollywood's biggest stars isn't just making blockbuster films? He's also being recognized as one of the United Kingdom's biggest investors in entertainment. That's right, Tom Cruise, the man we all know from Top Gun, Mission Impossible, and countless other box office hits, has been credited with helping boost the UK economy in ways few actors ever have. And it's not just through his movies dominating the global stage. Cruise has filmed extensively across the UK, pouring millions into local businesses, creating jobs, and even boosting tourism in cities and towns that became movie backdrops. Now, even government officials are publicly acknowledging just how massive his contributions have been, with one of them even joking that Cruise may be one of the biggest investors in the UK economy over the past decade. Let's break down what this actually means, why it's being talked about now, and how Tom Cruise has managed to become more than just a movie star, but also a surprising economic powerhouse. The recognition of Cruise's role in strengthening the UK's entertainment sector became official earlier this year when he was honored by the British Film Institute. At the BFI Chairs dinner in London, Cruise received one of the highest honors for his remarkable support of the UK film industry. This wasn't just a ceremonial gesture. The award symbolized how seriously British cinema and cultural leaders take Cruise's commitment to filming in their country. For years, studios and productions have chosen the UK as a filming hub, thanks to tax incentives and world-class crews, but Cruise has taken it a step further by continuously anchoring his biggest projects there. His presence not only creates buzz, but also guarantees jobs for thousands of industry professionals, from stunt coordinators and set designers to caterers and drivers. That ripple effect means his films aren't just entertainment, they're also mini economic engines for Britain. And it's not just about jobs in the film industry itself. Tom Cruise has also had a massive impact on UK tourism. Think about it, every time Mission Impossible shoots an action-packed sequence against the backdrop of a British landmark, it becomes free advertising for that destination. Fans who see those locations on the big screen often feel inspired to visit in real life. This phenomenon has been observed for years, with movies boosting tourism across the globe, but Cruise's films have done it on an especially large scale in Britain. Whether it's London's iconic streets, scenic countryside villages, or even historic castles, audiences get a cinematic tour of the UK through his films, and that directly translates to tourism revenue. Local businesses benefit when curious fans book trips, and in turn, the country sees an economic boost that stretches far beyond the film industry itself. The Culture Minister of the UK, Chris Bryant, recently took this conversation to a wider stage. Speaking at the Edinburgh Television Festival, he highlighted the importance of creating more British intellectual properties, essentially encouraging the country to invest in its own creative projects. But in the middle of making that point, he couldn't resist bringing up Tom Cruise. With a lighthearted jab, he said, "Tom Cruise is probably one of the biggest investors in the UK economy over the past decade." Now, while he may have been joking, the comment carried real weight. It underscored just how much Cruise's productions have funneled into the British economy. Bryant's remark wasn't about handing over credit to an American actor. It was about showing the power of film and entertainment as a driver of national economic success. To put things in perspective, let's talk about the Mission Impossible franchise. These movies aren't just global hits. They are massive productions requiring large crews, specialized equipment, and elaborate set pieces. And over the last decade, much of that action has been happening in the UK. When Cruise and his team choose to film there, they aren't just paying for permits and locations. They're hiring local staff, renting local spaces, and even boosting local hospitality industries, as crews stay in hotels and eat in restaurants for months at a time. The cumulative financial impact of multiple blockbusters over the years is staggering. Millions upon millions of dollars flow into local economies, helping not just film professionals but everyday citizens whose businesses indirectly benefit. One of the clearest examples of Cruise's impact can be seen in how often British landmarks have become central backdrops in his movies. From heart-stopping stunts filmed on the roof of Blackfriars Station in London to jaw-dropping sequences in the Lake District, Cruise has repeatedly showcased the UK in ways that make audiences gasp. These aren't quick cameos of scenery. They are pivotal, unforgettable moments in globally recognized films. The result? More visibility for British locations and more international interest in visiting them. It's no surprise that travel companies and tourism boards often see spikes in interest after a major cruise film release. It's a cycle where movies feed tourism, tourism boosts local economies and local economies welcome more filming. But what makes Cruise's commitment unique is that it isn't just about choosing the UK as a convenient filming spot. He has spoken repeatedly about the quality of talent and professionalism he finds in British crews. From visual effects teams to stunt performers, Cruise has often praised the skills of the people he works with overseas. This endorsement has helped shine a global spotlight on the UK's film industry, cementing its reputation as one of the best in the world. For many British professionals, getting a chance to work on a Cruise-led blockbuster isn't just a job, it's a career milestone that elevates their portfolios. In that sense, his films also serve as training grounds and resume boosters for the next generation of industry talent. At 62 years old, Tom Cruise shows no signs of slowing down. He's still doing his own death-defying stunts, still headlining massive franchises, and still making headlines around the globe. Right now, he's working on a new project titled Deeper, in which he's collaborating with actress Ana de Armas. And in addition to that, he's been tied to exciting potential collaborations with names like John Goodman and Riz Ahmed in the film Judy. Each of these projects represents more opportunities for international partnerships, and more chances that Britain's film infrastructure will play a role. When a Cruise project enters production, the ripple effects spread far and wide, and fans around the world are eager to see what he does next. So why does this matter beyond just the glitz and glamour of movies? Because it highlights how entertainment can play a surprisingly powerful role in the global economy. Governments and cultural leaders are increasingly recognizing film as a key export, and actors like Tom Cruise, whether intentionally or not, become unofficial ambassadors of those efforts. When he chooses to film in the UK, he's essentially vouching for the country as a prime destination for blockbuster cinema. That stamp of approval attracts more productions, more investors, and more opportunities. Cruise isn't a politician, but his career choices have political and economic consequences, especially when they align with the cultural goals of nations like the UK. It's also worth noting the timing of all this recognition. The UK entertainment industry, like much of the world, is still recovering from the disruptions caused by the pandemic. Productions were delayed, cinemas were shut down, and thousands of workers faced uncertainty. Having major stars like Cruise commit to bringing films back to the UK was more than just good news. It was a lifeline. It reassured both professionals in the industry and audiences alike that the business of making movies was alive and thriving. In many ways, Cruise's presence in the UK became symbolic of resilience and recovery. His blockbusters reminded people why theaters mattered and why international collaboration in film continues to be essential. Critics may argue that giving so much credit to one actor is overstating the case. After all, plenty of productions film in the UK without Tom Cruise. But the difference is scale and visibility. A Cruise movie doesn't just quietly film and move on. It commands global headlines, massive marketing campaigns, and staggering box office returns. That visibility amplifies the impact of everything else, the local hiring, the tourism boost, and the reputation building for British Cruise. It's one thing to say the UK has a great film industry. It's another to prove it by pointing to Cruise's billion-dollar franchises and the fact that so much of that success was made possible by UK-based work. Looking forward, it's clear that Tom Cruise's influence on the UK entertainment economy isn't going anywhere. With more projects lined up and the Mission Impossible series still ongoing, the demand for large-scale filming in Britain will only grow. At the same time, the UK government is pushing to create more original intellectual properties to strengthen its own cultural exports. The combination of local projects and international stars like Cruise creates a powerful ecosystem where British creativity and Hollywood star power feed off one another. That means audiences can expect even more blockbusters with UK settings, more collaborations with British talent, and more headlines about the surprising economic role of a movie star. At the end of the day, Tom Cruise may not have set out to become a major investor in the UK economy, but his choices have had exactly that effect. From creating jobs and boosting tourism to elevating the reputation of British film crews, his influence is undeniable. And while Chris Bryant's comment about Cruise being one of the UK's biggest investors may have been said with a laugh, there's real truth behind it. Cruise has given Britain not just movie magic, but also millions in tangible economic benefits. It's a reminder that entertainment is more than just fun. It's a serious business that impacts lives and industries around the world. And in this story, Tom Cruise isn't just a leading man on screen. He's also playing a starring role in the global economy.